Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to DaveyJay Today. I'm your host, DaveyJay, and today we're going to talk about the Mayans MC finale, Slow to Bleed, Fair Son.
Davey, 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 Davey.
So we finally made it to the end of Mayans. This is the 5th season, and from what it sounds like behind the scenes, they had some troubles with Kurt Sutter, and then of course moving to Elgin James, who finished out the rest of the 4th and the 5th season. I think during the 3rd season, I stand to be corrected, is when Kurt Sutter, basically the showrunner for Sons of Anarchy, he created Mayans, he created Sons of Anarchy, he was let go or fired at the end of season 3 of Mayans, and it's sad because Kurt Sutter is sorely missed. He was a great piece of the puzzle, but it is what it is, and we got Elgin James, and I think he did fantastic for what he had to deal with. It's not every season that you lose the head writer, the creator of your franchise, and he did what he had to do. Elgin James finished it up, and Mayans MC is now in the can. And boy, was this a good one. So this is how I feel about the outcome of Mayans MC, and when you compare it to Sons of Anarchy. I think a lot of people would agree that the Sons of Anarchy franchise was much more interesting, had a lot better writing, and just better drama, better music than Mayans MC. By definition, sequels and prequels are inferior to the main predecessor. It's just how it works, and it's so rare that the sequel, if you will be better than the main predecessor, the main show, the main film. It just doesn't happen too often unless you're talking about Terminator 2 and Terminator, but those are movies. So it's a lot harder to do when you're talking about a season of television. But what Elgin James was able to do with Mayans MC after Kurt Sutter's departure was incredible, because I honestly believe that season 4 and season 5, which were pretty much all Elgin James, although Kurt Sutter brought a lot of things to Mayans, and especially Sons of Anarchy, Elgin did very well. And so season 4 and season 5 are some of the best seasons of television that I've seen in years. And I'm a huge TV fan. There's a bunch of TV shows that are greenlit, and they're just frankly not that interesting. Season 4 was pretty good. Season 5, every single episode, I was on the edge of my seat. There was so much intense drama, not only with J.D. Pardo, who plays Easy Reyes, and he's kind of like our Jax Teller in Mayans MC, but not just with Easy Reyes, but with the rest of the Mayans MC as well. And by the way, if you didn't know already, there's going to be a bunch of spoilers, so I hope you know. I should have said that at the beginning. Anyway, spoilers. You've been warned right here, right now. So, Creeper went into jail, and he's being held there. He finds out that Easy, who's the president of the Mayans, was involved in some weird, shady rat business. So they know he's a rat, and Easy is willing to kill anybody who will let this get out. So by the end of the season, he goes and visits Creeper in jail, who he's basically wants to confront Easy, and they get in a fight, and essentially Easy just has him killed. And the whole MC doesn't really know what's going on until the finale, when Creeper's girlfriend informs the MC, hey, your president is a rat, etc. And it's like, whoa, then everything kind of blows up. But
I have a message from Creeper.
I'm going too fast. So earlier in the episode, they're like, we're going to war, and everybody's cheering like, yeah, fuck Sons of Anarchy. So the Mayans are going to war with the Sons of Anarchy, and it's really intense, really cool. And I'm thinking, oh, is this going to be a complete war episode? We've seen this a bunch of times.
Today, anyone wearing a Reaper is an enemy.
Anyways, the war, they kill Isaac, the main villain on the Sons of Anarchy side, and it felt so good to see them get rid of Isaac. Oh gosh, I hate him. He plays such a good villain. He's such a good actor. Anyways, so Isaac gets shot and a couple other people. Good. Then we can move on, and now it's like, okay, Easy Reyes finally did it. He put the Mayans MC on top, and everybody's so excited, and Angel, his brother, is like, you did it, man. They have a really kind of heart-to-heart talk, and it's really beautiful, really heartfelt, some really dramatic music playing. They're talking about, their past. I used to hook up with a girl on this bridge, and he's like, this is my thinking spot. Blah.
You been here before?
Bro, I used to bring chicks here all the time.
What the fuck, bro? This is my sacred place.
He's like, you did what Alvarez couldn't do or anybody could do. You put Mayans MC on the top.
You truly are the one king. But you're still my annoying ass know-it-all little brothers.
And that's what they did. And you think it's all good. Everything's cool. And they're going back. He's like, listen, Angel says to Easy, I have a kid now. And if I keep living this lifestyle of an outlaw in a motorcycle club, I am going to die. And I can't die. I need to be there for my son. He's like, let's do it the right way. Let's bring it to the table.
We'll do it right. I'll take it to the table tonight.
Which is ironic because Easy has like a dirty little secret that he's a rat. So when he says, let's do it the right way, it's kind of goofy. But Angel doesn't know. I don't think Angel knows about Easy being a rat or an informant or whatever. And so they go back to the club and they bring it to the table and they vote on it. And then Hank looks up and he's like, I got one more thing. And then you're like, ooh, are they going to bring something up? It's like, one more thing. He's like, I think we should patch over this prospect. I think he deserves it. He's been kicking ass, blah, 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 etc. And so you're like, oh, good. They didn't say, oh, we got to confront Easy or whatever. It's like, cool. So
Get him.
Yo! Sacagawea!
this prospect who I can't stand, he has long braided hair. He's just creepy, just super psychotic and weird. And it's like, ugh. They patch this guy in. And then after that, they're like, out of nowhere, I was shocked. This is the most shocking last 15 minutes of a finale I think I've ever seen. All of a sudden, they take a knife and they have Easy and they're like, you broke every single rule in our book.
You a fucking rat!
And Bishop's got him with a knife over here and he's got a gun to his head and they've got a gun to Angel's head. They're like, you knew about it. He's like, no, Angel didn't know about it. He's like, if you didn't know about it, then you got to kill your brother. It's blood over family in this motorcycle club, blah, 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 etc. And so they're crying. It's super emotional. And basically what happens is Easy ends up dying. And each of these guys, including Hank, all of the club, end up each individually stabbing Easy Reyes. Anyways, long story short, Easy ends up dying, and it's super emotional. Some exceptional acting. Unbelievable. And that is not all. Then we go to Miguel and Emily, who have had, the last couple episodes, she's been hooking up with them. You think everything's getting back to normal and their love life is better. They're hanging out, they're having and they're hooking up, everything's good, right? No, wrong. Of course not. She's been trying to get away from Miguel for probably a couple years now. Just take her and her son, get away from this psycho. Anywho, so the kid's sleeping on her shoulder and she's like, I'm going to take him up to bed, blah, blah, blah. Could you get his little owl or whatever? It's in the car. And so Miguel goes to the car and then his bodyguard or whatever has like these guns on. He's like, hey, could you take him up to bed? So she hands off the kid to him. She goes, oh, could you leave the guns down here? And please? And he's like, oh, yeah, out of respect. I won't tuck your kid in with the guns, okay? So he leaves the guns there. And then you see Miguel go out to the car, finds the stuffed animal, and then brings it back in. And she's waiting there with gloves on and a gun and shoots him. And then the bodyguard runs downstairs and she shoots the bodyguard. And she's like, you killed my sister. Boom. And then after that, the ring door footage or whatever their security footage camera shows, she planned it all perfectly. Emily shoots Miguel and the bodyguard, and she made it look like the bodyguard murdered Miguel. It's really intense, and wow. It was such good writing. I was shocked. It was such a shocking final 15-20 minutes that I needed to watch it again twice to make sure. I was like, is this really happening? And at the end of the Miguel, Emily takeout scene, the authorities are there. They're looking over the footage, and she shot it perfectly. She set it up so it looked like the bodyguard ended up shooting Miguel, and so she got away with it. So she got her wish, and they wrapped it up nicely and neatly. She got to take her son out of this world, and that's all she wanted to do in the first place. So she was able to get away, and that's the end of the story for our Emily. And then the saddest thing is, at the beginning of the episode, we find out that Easy's girlfriend is pregnant with this kid, and she never told him, like, hey, I'm pregnant, or I've got a surprise for you, we'll talk about it later. Okay, sounds good. And she was going to reveal to Easy, hey, we're going to have a baby, and I'm pregnant. And so at the end, you know, obviously they kill Easy, and then so Easy and his girlfriend live in a little trailer on the property in the back of the clubhouse property or whatever. And so there's a knock on the door, and it's late at night, and the girlfriend's all happy thinking it's Easy, and then all of a sudden we see light insinuating that the door opens, and she's like, she's smiling all happy, and she's like, wait, what's going on? Don't, you know, and then one of the club members just guns her down, and it is so sad. And I think the moral of this whole MC story is that it doesn't end well for anybody involved. Even the people that do get away not being killed or unscathed, if you will, still have to pay. And it's so sad. And one of the big examples is shown pretty much at the end of this episode. We see a bloody floor, and then of course Bishop takes the head of the table as president of the Mayans MC once again. But it's only for a very, very short while until we see ATF agents and other FBI and federal agents roll up to the club to break down the front door of the club, and then we see a bunch of cops come in and a bunch of gunshots, and it settles on a shot of Creeper's girlfriend, because we know that probably everybody in the MC was just killed by ATF agents, and that's really sad. For me, the big bright spot in this entire episode, and series for that matter, is the fact that Angel does make it out. We end this season on this beautiful shot of Angel and his son on the beach, and his tattoos of the Mayans MC on his back are all blacked out, which is what they do if you disgracefully have to leave a motorcycle club. And his tattoos are blacked out, and he is finally happy for the first time in his life, because like he says, he gets his son all to himself, and he can raise his son in a peaceful way, hopefully for the rest of his life. I wasn't a big fan of the final ending of Sons of Anarchy. I'm not going to spoil that one for you, but in my opinion, it was kind of stupid and random and unplanned. This one was really well planned. It was smart. It was well written and highly intelligent, and I'm glad it worked out the way it did. Now, what's next for Mayans? Oh, by the way, I think this is the best episode by far of the entire Mayans MC series. It was incredible. I would give this a 10 out of 10. Seriously, it was such a good episode of television. It was like a really intense action drama movie. Anyways, this show was freaking terrific. I love this episode. I love the entire 5th season. What does this mean for the future of Mayans, Sons of Anarchy as an IP? Well, rumor has it, and this has been years in the making, when Sons of Anarchy ended, they were wondering if they were going to do a prequel to Sons of Anarchy called First Nine, or if they were going to do Mayans MC. Obviously, they did Mayans MC. So, rumor has it that they're planning to do First Nine, and basically what First Nine is the first 9 members of Sam Crow, Sons of Anarchy Motorcycle Club, Redwood Original. That's a tongue twister, right? Try saying that fast. The plan was to make a prequel to that, so the original cast, you know, Clay and John Teller, who's Jax's dad, and Piney Winston, and all the older guys from Sons of Anarchy, they were planning on making a prequel where they were much younger, and when they founded the Sons of Anarchy Club in Charming, and what that's all about. And I would love to see that. I'm curious who they'd cast to play John Teller, Jax's dad, and who they'd cast to play Clay. I hope they do it. I don't know if they will now that they lost Kurt Sutter. There might be a chance they get him back. I'm not positive how that's supposed to work, but we can only hope, right? I hope they do. It would be great to see First Nine, or just any kind of cool spinoff involving Sons of Anarchy or Mayans, because they just did such a great job with both of these series. And yeah, I'm not ready for it to be over. And you could totally tell also that they wanted this to go at least 6 seasons. You know, they finished it up at the 5th season because FX told Elgin James and the whole Mayans crew, like, yo, You guys got to wrap it up in the 5th season. We're not going to give you a 6, so do all you can to make it make sense by the end of the 5th season. And you could tell that they had packed so much into the 5th season that they could have easily padded it out and let it go into a 6th season, but they didn't have that luxury. So it just made every episode of the 5th season super good, super intense. So I give it a 10 out of 10. It is excellent. If you haven't seen Mayans MC yet, I don't know why you're watching this video. Tons of spoilers. I hope you enjoyed my video and my view. This is just my personal opinion. What did you think about the episode? Have you even seen Mayans MC? What do you think about a possible prequel? Do you have your own prequel idea? Would you like to see something involving this new Sons of Anarchy club that came after Jax and the crew when Jax was gone? Or are you cool with just seeing First Nine with Elgin James as their director? Or would you like to see Kurt Sutter come back? Well, let me know in the comments below. I want to thank you once again for watching my video. Thanks for subscribing, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I've said my opinion, now it's time to hear yours. Thanks for watching.